Sam Canning used to be a vegetarian. Now he's one of Australia's leading butchers, running 6 very fancy butcher shops in Melbourne's most affluent suburbs.
The Canning experience is a beautiful fit out, a nice shop aesthetically, super clean, super organised. Ideally, look, one of the goals for us is that it doesn't smell like a butcher shop.
I told you they were fancy shops. It's the award-winning Small Business Big Marketing Show, thanks to American Express.
Yeah, I said, welcome to a small business marketing show, where successful small business owners share their souls to take your marketing straight to the lead. Now, here's your host, Mr. Timbo Reid.
And welcome back to your weekly dose of marketing skullduggery. I'm your host, Timbo Reid. You, infinitely more importantly, you're a motivated business owner, and you're ready to crank out some great marketing to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it deserves to be. Today's 435th episode is made possible thanks to American Express, and to see how you can turn your existing expenses into some seriously good rewards, Google Amex Business after the show. Speaking of show, it's a big one today. Fancy Pants Butcher, yes, Fancy Pants Butcher, Sam Canning, shares how he's successfully disrupting a very staid industry. Listener Danielle shares the success she's having from implementing 2 ideas from this show. And this week's Jingle of the Week, well, it'll either put you off milk forever or make you love it forever. As per usual, team, there is marketing GOLD dripping from the ceiling over here at Small Business Big Marketing's HQ. So let's get stuck right in. Okay, let's meet Sam Canning, who was a vegetarian before becoming a celebrated butcher. His experience in paddock-to-plate butcher shops in the UK inspired him to open his first shop here in Australia with a focus, believe it or not, on animal welfare. In 2010, the first Cannings Butcher Shop was opened in the leafy Melbourne suburb of Hawthorn. Now Sam has 6 shops, and let me tell you, they're not your average butcher shop. They're quite beautiful, and he's in the process of opening up 2 more. This rapid growth hasn't come without some pain, which Sam talks about. Plus, he shares how he's gone about cleverly disrupting a very staid industry in butchery, if that's a word. I started off by asking Sam why he gave up being a veggie.
Look, I think that was just inevitable working in the meat industry. But look, I don't know. I think probably, maybe I just forgot about where meat comes from for a little bit and, just let it, I don't know. Maybe I wanted to forget it. I don't know.
Clearly. How old were you when you became a carnivore?
Oh, look, to be honest, I still don't eat a lot of meat.
Don't tell anyone that.
No. Look, I think, everybody's a little bit different. And look, I think I thrive without meat, but there's something I couldn't give up, and I couldn't give up bacon.
Hello, bacon.
I love bacon. But, I can't remember the last time I had a steak, honestly. It's been that long.
Is that weird? It sounds weird coming from a high-end butcher who makes a living from selling meat. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know. You just got to listen to your body, I guess. And
yes.
As I said, it's not something that I don't really crave it. I mean, I don't, once again, I crave bacon, but it's and I love beef burgers. But aside from that, I'm kind of a bit, whatever.
Let's have a quick romantic bacon discussion, Sam. What's your favourite bacon?
Well, you know what? I mean, look, our bacon is absolutely awesome. The bacon that we make ourselves, it's it's quite smoky. But I'm actually loving at the moment a dry cured bacon, which we buy from a local producer, Providor, Pacton Park. They're up in Echuca, and they do a dry cured free range bacon.
Righto.
And it's preservative free, and it is absolutely awesome. It's like herby and a little bit peppery, but it's like, it's the belly bacon, so streaky bacon. And I'm actually, we're smashing that at home at the moment. My kids are eating about, 8 packs of it a a week. But
wow.
we can kind of do it a little bit sort of, more guilt-free because, it's preservative-free and nitrate-free. And but yeah, look, once again, don't get me wrong, our bacon is absolutely killer, and that's the best seller in all of my stores.
So this is the problem with bacon. We can't stop eating it. We can't stop talking about it. This is a business show, Sam. I want you to focus. Look me in the eye. Now, where'd the idea for running your own butcher shop come from?
Well, firstly, my dad was a businessman himself, and he was in marketing, but he was sort of in business for most of a lot of his sort of professional career. So I think that kind of entrepreneurial spirit is kind of hard coded into you. So I sort of just went through a lot of my sort of early years as being a butcher, as being quite sort of unsatisfied with just the day to day and the sort of the basics of the job itself. I do love butchering, but it comes to a point where in any sort of industry, I guess, that you feel that you've paid your dues, you've been doing it for 10 years, you feel like you're quite confident, you're quite good at your craft, and it's like, what's next? And so I kind of got to that point, and I was actually thinking that I didn't like the industry, and I was looking for, I guess, ways to get out of it, and kind of I was at a bit of a crossroads, I guess you could say, and I'm not sure which way to go. And I went on a big overseas holiday around the world by myself for about 6 months, and it was during that time where I had a bit of a, I guess, epiphany, and
I love a good epiphany, Sam. Where were you, and what was it?
Just to go hard and try and make something of this this career that I've invested in.
So part of that epiphany, was it simply to tell you to get back to Australia and start a business, or was Cannings Butcher Shop part of that?
No, I think, look, the epiphany was, hey, you don't hate the industry, you don't hate the job. It's you want to be in control of, I guess, your own destiny, and in control of. I know everything I'm saying here makes it sound like I'm a control freak, but I'm actually, I don't think I am anyway. But
I'm guessing you are, and I'll just make a mental note to come back to that. Describe for us Cannings, because most of us haven't been there. I've introduced it as a high-end. Is it a butcher shop? But it's pretty classy. So what's the Canning experience for someone who hasn't been?
The Canning experience is a beautiful fit out, a nice shop aesthetically, super clean, super organised. Ideally, look, one of the goals for us is that it doesn't smell like a butcher shop. It's got a sort of fresh kind of smell going on.
How do you do that? It's full of dead meat.
Just good, good cleaning processes, lots of fresh air going through the place. And most of the shops are pretty new as well, so we've got that in our favour.
Bit of potpourri.
A bit of potpourri, but fairly young staff, high energy, good music, positive culture, and then there's the high welfare, grass-fed produce that we have, like our own sort of selection criteria, which is quite strict, and so we're actually putting in a lot of time and effort into where we get all of our produce from.
Sam, just going back to the experience, they're beautiful shops. Did you have someone come in and design them, or is it all off your own bat?
Well, the first one, no, because everything was done on a shoestring. So we didn't have an interior designer, and I was sort of just, designing the shops myself. But
winging it.
You can tell. But the second shop we did, I got an interior designer, and we did the full, styled concept, and we've developed that even further over the years. But I mean, it does kind of all have the similar concept now.
So let's break it down, what you've just described to us, because it is not a standard butcher shop. In our pre-interview, I suggested that you have challenged your industry, which I love. Your response to me was, I didn't realise I was, which I found a little bit astounding, because everything you've done, if you put a standard 50-year-old butcher shop next to Cannings, they are vastly different beasts. Excuse the pun. So, did you not overtly sort of go through the conventions of butchery and say we're going to do the opposite, or is it just played out that way?
Yeah, I think it has played out that way a little bit. I mean, I guess that's one of the benefits of having your own business, is you get to just, do things the way that you like. Before I opened the first store, my dad and I, he helped me sort of develop, I guess, the brand a little bit, and what our key points of differences were.
So how did he do that, Sam? How did your dad help you develop the brand? Were there certain questions that he asked, or certain things, exercise he took you through?
Yeah, look, probably, but I can't remember exactly what they were because it was about nine or so years ago now. And but yeah, look, my dad and I were workshopping quite a bit of stuff, as well as a lot of the local kind of demographic data of Hawthorn, because Hawthorn was where the first shop was. There's the logo and the name. What do we call it? And then there was the key points of difference. And I think at the time where it was all natural, it was free range and hormone free, grass fed, hormone free, that kind of thing. And then. Yeah, so look, a lot of it was just around, it was quite simple, I guess, in terms of, it was all about the just high welfare produce. And, that's where it was all really sort of stemming from.
So fundamentally, the foundation of Cannings is high welfare produce. Is that where, and everything else kind of came from that? And if so, what does that mean?
It's a deep question, the whole meat ethics thing. But yeah, look, put simply, beef that hasn't been in a feedlot, beef that's been, grass-fed for its entire life, beef and lamb that's been grass-fed for its entire life and hasn't gone into a feedlot, accredited free-range chicken, accredited free-range pork, but just going a little bit further than that and meeting farmers, actually going out to our producers and seeing their establishments and going to the abattoirs and stuff like that. And that's still something that I do today, and it's something that is sort of more regimented in our canning selection process, selection criteria.
So everything you sell at Cannings, Sam, you or someone else has gone and checked out how these animals are being treated. You?
Yeah, me personally, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
And is that something you overtly use in your marketing?
Yeah, it is. It is. We've got a new website coming out next week, and it's sort of a little bit more front and center, that kind of philosophy. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is.
I am talking to Sam Canning, Fancy Pants Butcher, I call you, Sam.
Fancy Pants. I do have some pretty nice pants on at the moment, actually. You should see them.
Thanks to American Express. Now, again, going back to how you've challenged the category, so beautiful store, food, meat and desserts, funnily enough, well presented. You got a bit of blueberry crumble, I notice, in there.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to wash down the beef somehow. What else have you done in terms of butchers? Have always, I would argue, been pretty good at customer service. They've been very welcoming.
Yes.
Sort of, they're a fundamental part of any local community. How do you do that?
Look, it was easier when I was actually doing it personally. When I had just the one store, being Hawthorn, that's how I built the business. I spent a lot of time on the counter, and I've never been good with names, or I've never been as good with names as when I started up my own business. And I was just remembering everybody's name and just building a really good relationship with everyone. And it's a bit harder now though, because I don't spend any time on the counter at all, because we do have 6 stores, and spending time on the counter is quite hard.
Is that frustrating?
Look, it was initially, but to be honest with you, it has been quite a while, and it's sort of, my role has changed a lot over the years, and I don't think about it as much as I used to. It used to really bother me, not having the time in the store.
It's really the only
it's a reality now.
I've heard it a lot. I mean, I had a commercial painter on a couple of years ago. The minute he stepped off the tools, stopped painting buildings, and worked on quotes, client liaison, follow-up, all that kind of stuff, his business quadrupled, literally within a couple of months. And it's a funny part of small business, isn't it, Sam, where you go into it. I mean, for you loved butchery. For the painter guy, his name was Taz, actually, Taz Mullis. He loved painting. But there's a point in business where we started because we loved something, but now that love is growing, so we've got to step away from it and focus on more almost administrative / strategic kind of tasks. That's right. Yeah, indeed. And look, the business, I must say, no business can ever be really as good as it can be without, like a retail business I'm talking about. But I mean, the front man or the front person of the business, just really driving it. It can never be as strong as that moment. But look, all of my managers, they've got a amazing sense of ownership. They really do treat the place like their own, and I couldn't ask for much more out of my management team. They're doing such a great job. This show is made possible thanks to American Express Business Explorer credit card, a card that lets your business expenses reward you. I asked Amex member Chris Gray, CEO of property buying business Your Empire, how he benefits from using his Amex.
I use Amex for the whole of my business. Literally every single thing I pay in my business, even down to effectively my staff or my contractors and my rent at home, everything goes on the Amex card. Because with Amex, you get the most points for your dollar spent. And I convert those points into frequent flyer rewards points. I fly 10 or 15 times a year, only business and first class, including those beautiful A380 suites you get on Singapore Airlines where you get your own bedroom. And I fly for free. I don't pay for a single flight.
But it's not all upside, or is it?
So I've still got 1 million points because I spend so much money in my business. I've then got a pre-planned 10 trips for next year of where do I want to go. I need to find excuses to go to different countries.
This is a massive first world problem, Chris.
It is, but I'm willing to put up with it. So there's very few people that can force themselves through the pain barrier, but I'm willing to do it. I've trained myself.
New American Express card members who apply and spend $3,000 in the first 3 months from the card approval date receive a bonus 100,000 membership rewards points. You got to love it when your business expenses reward you. Search Amex Business to find out how. New American Express card members only. Offer ends November 30, 2017. Terms and conditions apply. You've had some pretty decent growth. You've got 6 stores now in 6 of Melbourne's leafiest suburbs. You're 8 years old. Can you pinpoint the moment where you thought, hang on, this is working?
Well, look, to put it into perspective, it was 2010 when we opened Hawthorn. I was, there with that one shop, building that up until 2014 before I took the next opportunity. And then it's pretty much just been one every year after that.
What's been the hardest part, Sam, of bringing Cannings to market?
Yeah, look, I'm probably not unique in saying that people and culture is a hard one to.
Not unique at all.
Yeah, it's not like I'm pushing it uphill all the time. I feel like we're in a really great spot at the moment. But just that moment, there is that moment when the owner kind of has to step out of the daily operations of the business, but you still need to try and uphold all the values. It's like, it's all these values that I've.
How do you do that?
I've got in me, and I need to kind of instill it amongst the other across all the whole group. How do you do it? Look, we have a lot of meetings, a lot of talking with the staff. A lot of documenting now. Like it's become. We've become a little bit more corporate in that regard. You do have to kind of document all these kinds of things and put it all on paper. Because it does get hard. It does get harder and harder to communicate it, and we're 6 stores in now, and about 100 staff, and my values have sort of they've come to this point where they kind of are something that is kind of on paper, and you kind of need to, I don't know, explain it to people because it is different. Like I'm not in the store with everyone, and people can't. There's not that kind of grafting thing that goes on when the owner is in the one shop, and everyone else can just observe the owner and see, what the values are.
So you're finding your way around 6 stores now and trying to do that on a fairly regular basis. I was talking to actually a past guest only last week, Felicity Rogers from Cargo Crew, which is an interesting business that's challenging all the conventions of the corporate uniform industry. She's seen huge growth over the last couple of years, gone from a handful of staff to 30 or 40 staff. They have a meeting every morning, literally first thing, 9 o'clock, everyone in, 30 or 40 of them. Just a quick update. Anyone can talk. Someone facilitates it. They share the facilitation of it. Just a way of connecting. Bit harder for you because you've got 6 stores. They've got 1.
That's amazing. I would love to do exactly that. We've got a head office now, and we actually do that within our head office. But yeah, when you've got the retail thing and multi-store kind of thing, it is harder. It is harder.
It's amazing, mate. You talk. You have become very corporatized in a 6 stores. Does that sit comfortably with you?
It does actually. I must say, maybe I was born for corporate life or whatever. But it's not super corporate. But we do have the head office structure thing going on, and I'm quite office bound these days. But I love it. I love planning. I love strategy. I love organising things. I always have, and I still get to do all of that. So yeah, I'm just not cutting meat.
Bit of a control freak, Sam?
No. Just like organising. That's all.
Of course, of course. Hey, let's talk a bit more marketing. Let's drill down on the marketing of Cannings because there's some things you're doing that I'm finding quite interesting. You have managed to get the whole Cannings brand down to one word, and I don't hear this very often from business owners. I think it's very clever. What's your one word, and break it down for us?
So the one word is care, and essentially the philosophy around it is if we care about every little step of the process, all you have to do is give every little bit of process a bit of care, and everything is going to be everything's going to work out fine. When I say every bit of the process, it's it's your workmanship, it's how you treat your customers, how you treat your staff. If there's care in every one of those little steps, then I just feel that with a bit of care, nothing can really go wrong.
I like that. Where'd that come from? Where'd that idea come from? That's something you'd read in a marketing textbook.
Well, yeah. Look, I am going to sound like a bit of a copycat now if I tell you. But no, I got it from the rock pool philosophy, and I think I read that on an in-flight magazine. And Neil Perry was in an interview, and he had I think his mantra was also care or something very similar, and it just really resonated with me. I'm like, holy hell, that is perfect for us. And that's what we go by.
And really that is care for the customer, it's care for the animal, it's care for the farmer, the supplier, the staff. It's just every aspect of the Cannings business.
That's right.
Good, mate. It's clever. So real estate strategy, talk to me about that. You are in, again, this is a global show, but you are in Melbourne's most affluent suburbs. You're in Kew, you're in Ivanhoe, you're in Hawthorn, you're in Armadale?
Malvern. Yep.
Jeez, mate, what again, what's the thinking there? Sounds obvious, but why?
Oh yeah, look, it kind of is obvious. Obviously, what comes with a high welfare, free range, premium product is a price tag that kind of reflects that kind of product. And yeah, so look, just so happens to that we have to be in those suburbs to sort of be able to get that premium.
Now, don't get cross with me, Sam. I'm gonna figure out how expensive you are now by this simple little formula. I buy my eye fillet. Oh, he's gonna kill me. I'm not gonna say this. Okay, I'll say it. Big breath.
What do you pay for?
I get my eye fillet from Coles, and it's $39.99 a kilogram.
Yep.
How are we going so far?
Well, look, on face value, we're not going too well. but no, look, there's different grades, I guess, that would be on the supermarket shelf there as well. And look, you can get good meat from the supermarket. They do have some select kind of lines, grass-fed, premium kind of stuff. Yes. But it's not really an apples for apples kind of situation.
Come on, how much is your eye fillet a kilogram? Don't avoid it.
I'm not sure. I should know, shouldn't I? No, I think we're low to mid 60s. Yeah, but I think you'd find that comparing apples for apples, and like we trim all the the silver skin off the top. I think you'd find it's pretty similar. And look,
that's interesting. I bought I don't know even what you call it, but a slab of eye fillet from Aldi the other day. See, this is just getting embarrassing. I know I'm going to get a whole lot of, Timbo the tight ass. But someone said, no, you got to get the eye fillet at Aldi. It's really good. But it was actually you just called it silver skin. Sorry to all you vegetarians listening, but it was very tough. It was very average eye fillet, I must say.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the time where the supermarkets let them down is just the aging process. They really do rush things through, and they'll, with red meat in particular, they it needs age. It needs minimum 2 weeks, right. Ideally about 4 weeks of aging before it's ready to eat. And supermarkets will just buy it one day and sell it the next, and it's just not ready. So it could just be something as simple as that. But
what's the best marketing you do for Cannings, Sam?
Oh, you know what? This is something we've been doing for years, and I just think it is the best marketing avenue of all time, and that is it's SMS. It's text message. We've got a fairly large database of SMS, of mobile numbers that we've acquired over the years, where our customers have opted in to the program, and we text them weekly or fortnightly, just with specials, and it's so good. I mean, everyone's phone is within about a metre of them at all times. So we do quite a lot of different things, but the text message is just that one thing. It's just straight to the customer, and I just don't think there's anything better than that. And it's it's pretty cheap as well. So.
I think that's genius. How are you capturing the mobiles?
How are we doing it at the moment? Look, we do a lot of because we have the face-to-face thing over the counter, so just a lot of communication, mostly over the counter. Do you mind if I
grab your mobile and send you a few specials every now and then?
We'll put a little card in their bag or something like that, and then they do it when they get home. But I reckon that's one of the best things ever.
It's an idea. I mean, you can imagine how many times I ask that question. SMS marketing does not come up often, and I think it's very clever because, as you say, your phone is always with your person, generally speaking, throughout the day and night. And I don't know about you, but I don't get a lot of marketing come through my phone.
I don't think. Yeah, look, I think it's a bit of a hard sell. I think. Because people don't want to give out their mobile numbers willy-nilly. So I think you really do have to have a relationship with, you've got to have
I know what you're saying, Sam.
Yeah.
Many wouldn't.
A friendship or something.
Yes, friendship.
with your customers. And, not anyone's just, I don't think anyone's going to let Aldi, get on. Not going to give Aldi a mobile number.
We laugh, but Aldi is Australia's most trusted brand. For 2018. Wow. Yeah, I know. So maybe we would give it to Aldi. We might not give it to Coles. Who knows? We can keep thinking about that.
Coles,
tell me about...
already have it.
Correct. School of Butchery. What is it and why is it?
School of Butchery is it's a series of one-night courses that we run out of our Q store. And basically there's different courses. There's a lamb night, there's a sausage night, there's a night that we call a Cannings Apprentice, which is, we do a lot of little things. Basically people can buy tickets from the We Teach Me website. And, I guess it's an event that we hold at the Q store.
Yeah. Why?
Why is it? I'm not sure. Bit of fun. Just let people see what we do behind the scenes. There's a bit of mystery, I think, behind it. And, us
Is it good for business? Is it a way for you to give back? Do you get staff out of it? Is there any sort of strategic reason for doing these, what are they called again? School of Butchery nights?
Yeah, look, without sounding bitter and jaded about it, I don't think there's any good that comes out of it aside from it's not a money spinner. It's so hard to run these nights at a really good price point. Right. It's hard for us to make money even when they're incredibly expensive. Like they are quite expensive. I think they sort of average around $300 to $400 a night per person. But they're just great fun. And
how many do you get along to one of those nights?
I think we cap it at about 8. Some of them are capped at 6, depending on.
So that's about $2,500, say $2,000 a night. How are you not making? It's not huge dollars, but why aren't you making money? How can they cost you money?
Oh, look, I think a lot of it is just down to the cost of the materials that we have to work with being meat. It's expensive. We can't use, what gets what we work on essentially. We cook a bit of food, we serve a little bit of wine, we hand out, the knives. We give the customers the guests. We give them the knives and things like that. So I don't know. It just adds up. The staff, etc. We've got to pay our staff to be there, and I don't know. It's just one of those it all adds up scenarios.
Yeah, you sound pretty bitter and twisted about it, Sam. I think we probably let it go. Write a memo after this interview. No more School of Butchery.
No, but they're selling out. Like they're selling out. We actually, the limitation for us is actually finding our staff who are prepared to do it, because it's a Saturday. We host them on Saturday nights, and we actually run out of staff who are able to host them.
Fair enough. I may be a bit behind the times, Sam. It wouldn't be the first time I have been called that, a bit slow, but looks like butchery is following the same trajectory as being a barber. Barbers have become very cool again. You know, we're seeing them pop up on every street corner and in between. They're offering an incredible experience. I had a fellow from a barber's on the show only recently, a barber's called Scumbags. Fantastic experience. It's where I get my hair cut. But again, what I'm seeing in the land of butchery is we've got the traditional butcher shop. We've got these, I've got a half fancy butcher shop near me, but it doesn't go past sort of just the presentation is like a little bit better than the standard butcher shop. And then you've got butcher shops like Cannings. You're sort of seeing an industry that's really starting to change right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing the next generation kind of come through, and there's some really great ideas and concepts and stuff coming through, and and unfortunately it was kind of forced upon the meat industry by the supermarkets who are taking control of the
Yes.
industry quite a lot and running a lot of the smaller operators out of town in a lot of places. But yeah, look, we always open up next to a supermarket. That's part of our business model to be near
Clever.
a supermarket and
Yes.
just take them. Well, not really take them on, but I mean, we're just not really worried about. Like, you've got to have them there for the foot traffic. If people are thinking food when they're at the supermarket, and
You're selling. You got 6 retail outlets. You've got an online store. Is there? What do you see the future of butchery being? Is it online?
Look, I think online's got potential to have a lot of growth. We're investing quite a bit in the online space at the moment. We've been doing online for about 4 years, and it's pretty good. But it's nothing like retail, bricks and mortar kind of retail for us. But
So can you imagine Cannings having 20 stores around Australia in the next 10 years, or can you imagine that reducing and having a much stronger e-commerce presence?
depends which day you talk to me, actually, about that. Because not lately though. I haven't had any thoughts about sort of downscaling and just going into the online space. Although I have thought about it and thought, oh, how fancy free and how easy would that be just to have an online store and not have any retail stores. But no, I haven't been thinking that way for a while now. And but having said that, no, I'm not sure about the interstate expansion, 20, 30, 40 stores across Australia. I want a simple life that I can, manage, and I don't need that crazy kind of scale in my life. I don't think, but
Fair
hey,
enough.
don't quote me on that. I might change my mind tomorrow.
What's your work-life balance like, Sam? I'm reckoning it's pretty good.
It's really, really good. Yeah. It's I work 4 days a week. About 3 or 4 months ago, I made the decision and I gave myself permission to not work on Fridays as well as Saturdays and Sundays. And that's been probably one of the best things I've ever done. And I basically get Friday to spend on myself because obviously Sundays are quite sort of family orientated. I've got 2 little kids.
So what's Friday look like?
Oh, Friday is spending time in my recording studio or taking my motorbike out for a spin.
What are you recording? Podcast?
I'm not. Well, at the moment. But no, look, I love recording bands. Recording rock bands, basically. And
That's brilliant, buddy. So you're taking that Friday off, that decision, because, again, a lot of business owners listening to this going, how? I could never do that, not in a million years. Did you take a hit financially to do that?
No. Look, I think the head office structure as that sort of developed. Look, we've got about 8 people in the head office at the moment, and I'm just at that point where it kind of doesn't really matter where I am at any one particular point in time now. As long as I can answer a phone call, respond to an email,
Awesome.
keep the wheels spinning, because I'm not really a part of any sort of day-to-day kind of stuff anyway. So it's it's decision making and conversations and strategy is what I do, and they don't need that on a Friday.
Good and a good decision. So yes, you're obviously you're better off for it. Your wife's probably loving it. Kids are loving it.
Yeah.
He's a better bloke, the old man, now that he has Fridays off.
But no, look, I completely understand, the trap that sort of, we all fall into. And look, if you're working in a retail kind of thing and you're part of the manpower, then you don't have a choice. And I totally get it because I've done that. But I think, as we went into that sort of head office structure, I don't know, I'm not really missed. So, yeah, it's awesome.
Great thing. Hey, Sam, I think it's a great story, mate. I wish I could get down to a Cannings Butchers in my old hometown, but alas, you'll have to open one in Noosa if that's going to happen. Not out of the question, being Melbourne's most northern suburb, so who knows? People can find out more if they want to online. What is it? Cannings Free Range Butchers? That's quite a long domain name you got yourself there.
No, it is. But, the shorter version of that is just canningsbutchers.com.au.
Why have you got canningsfreerangebutchers.com.au? Was that a bit of an SEO keyword-rich play?
Well, no, that's the business name. The business name is Cannings Free Range Butchers, and Cannings is the shortened, more URL-friendly version.
Yeah, clever. Clever. Well done, Sam. Great story. All the best for the future.
Thanks, Tim.
Well, there you go. Fancy Pants Butcher, Sam Canning. Now, be sure to hang around after my top 3 attention grabbers, which I'm about to share with you as listener Danny shares her marketing secrets and wins big in the Monster Prize draw. But right now, my top 3 attention grabbers from that chat with Butcher Sam Canning, thanks to our mates at American Express. Attention grabber number 1. I just simply love that Sam's challenging the industry in which he works. You know, it's a staid industry, it's a very old industry, and it needs a bit of a tickle, and Sam is doing just that. Attention grabber number 2, SMS marketing. Genius! I don't know about you, but my phone is not full of businesses trying to get me to buy from them. So I think there might be an opportunity. I don't want it to be full of either, but I would argue that there is a bit of an opportunity there, and clearly it's working for Sam and Cannings Butchery. Attention grabber number 3, documenting systems. Now, Sam's relatively, it's not a new business, but he's got 6 stores. I love the fact that he's documenting all the systems and processes in his business. It'll make it more valuable if and when it comes time to sell, and it just makes running the business a whole lot easier, because if someone doesn't show up, a system's documented and you're in good shape. That's what grabbed my attention. Head over to smallbusinessbigmarketing.com/435. Let me know what grabbed yours.
Come on down. It's Timbo's Monster Prize Draw.
Oh yes, indeedly doodly, it is that time of the episode where we reward a motivated listener for taking some swift action. I want to hear from you. What idea have you learnt from this show, implemented, and what impact has it had on your business? If you do that and I read it on air, you win some prizes. Righto, today's winner is Danielle Rathman from Heartbeat Handicrafts. Well done, Danielle. And this is what she sent me. She says, "Hey, Timbo. Firstly, thanks for the great content and interviews you keep rolling out. My journey into small business is relatively new, but I'm so excited about what's ahead." I like that. I started Heartbeat Handicrafts in 2015 with the encouragement and comfort of doing it alongside my sister, who also started selling handmade accessories at the same time. Good to have a buddy to work along, I reckon, when you're building a business. You can whinge to them. You can hug them. You can high-five them when you've had a big win. Danielle goes on to say, "I pretty quickly identified some of my knowledge gaps, well done, including marketing. Now I am mainly running Heartbeat Handicrafts and only working as an occupational therapist 1 day a week. Because it's a long drive to the OT job, I use this time to binge listen your podcast." Like that, which gives me a huge surge of motivation, and I don't feel the days wasted away from the business. When I get home, and I like what Danielle's doing here, I scramble to write down all of the marketing gold that I feel I can get stuck into straight away, or that I need to think through further. Great idea. You know, this show and other podcasts like it, you know, we give advice that is implementable immediately, but there'll be some other big ideas that you go, I need to mull over that. That's a good thing. Danielle goes on to say, "I have been able to start putting into action several of the ideas, but I'll only mention a couple in this email." One of the key messages that kept coming up was that a product or service needed to solve a problem or personal pain point for a potential customer. I couldn't identify what this was for my existing range because I was selling mainly handmade earrings, which in my view is more of a luxury than a need. That's Danielle saying that, not me. I realised that I did actually have my own personal pain point in relation to the products I sold, though. I would tend to lose or break earrings when travelling because they would just be thrown into my makeup bag. This spurred on the development of my fabric earrings travel pouches. That's genius! I found this new product line, then made it easier for me to start making short videos because I had something to talk about now that I had a product that was helpful for customers. That's exactly how it works, Danielle. I am also now a huge fan of building relationships. I collaborate with local artists by making earrings featuring their artworks. This has been successful because customers who already liked the artist's work but didn't have space for a whole canvas or couldn't afford something large had the opportunity to buy statement earrings from me instead. Both the artists and my business benefit from the exposure to each other's social media followers. Thanks again, Timbo, for the content you're creating. Kind regards, Danielle Rathman. Heartbeathandicrafts.com.au is where you'll find Danielle's work. Well, thank you, Danielle, for listening and most importantly for implementing. And as a result, you have won a bathroom essentials pack from past guest Saya McDermott. That includes some special potions and lotions valued at $79. You get a pass into the American Express Lounge at Melbourne or Sydney International Airports. That's valued at $33. And you get a backlink on the Small Business Big Marketing website, which is priceless. Now, I'd love to hear from you. I'm running a bit low on emails from listeners who have done something as a result of listening to this show. So send me an email, tim@timreid.com.au. That's REID. Telling me what it is. Keep it simple. Keep it short. If I read it on air, you win some prizes and go into the prize draw to win a hot lap with Bathurst winner, racing car legend, past guest, Steve Richards. That is worth entering for alone. That's the Monster Prize Draw for another week. Righto, it's time for the advertising jingle of the week. This one's from 1981, and as a young, hot-blooded Australian teenager, I was 14 at the time, it triggers some very, very fond memories. Memories that we don't need to go into any detail on this show. It's a family show, but fond memories nonetheless. Now, the ad is for the flavoured milk brand Big M. It's set on a surf beach where there's plenty of young guys and girls in their bathers running around having a lot of fun. The problem is, though, when the girl tries to drink the milk from the carton, it runs down her front. I don't know, possibly an issue with the packaging. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, here's the jingle.
Milk will never be the same now the Big M's here.
'Cause there's a big strawberry M, big strawberry M, and a big chocolate M, big chocolate M, big banana M. If you like it yellow, or if you prefer a big iced coffee M, get one right now from your nearest Big M's hella fella. Flavored milk, Big M.
Oh, every time I hear that, it triggers some childhood memories. Is 14 a child? I suppose so, some childhood memories. Good memories nonetheless. You can watch the ad over at smallbusinessbigmarketing.com/435. Well, that almost wraps up another episode of the Small Business Big Marketing Show, sponsored by our great friends at American Express. Search Amex Business to find out how your business expenses can reward you. Hey, got some great interviews coming up, including one on mental health for small business owners, a chat with a fellow who's selling merchandise for small businesses through vending machines at Officeworks, and he's doing some other amazing stuff as well. He's met Richard Branson. He's got the Prime Minister coming to his office tomorrow. I've already done the interview. It was a great story. And in a few weeks' time, you and I will be masterclassed in SEO tactics for 2019 by one of the world's leading experts. So be excited. Be very, very excited. Don't forget there's an entire back catalogue of interviews over at smallbusinessbigmarketing.com. If you love the show, then tell another business owner about it. Please download it on their phone. Do it today. 3 a day for a week. It's 21. Tick that box. Until next week, I am Timbo Reid. Thanks for tuning in. May your marketing be the best marketing. Bye for now.